This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Greetings, John Solberg here. I'm your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Always happy to tell you that this show is brought to you by Green Mountain Grills. And for more than 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene and backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the bell game. Their newly redesigned 2025 Prime 2.0 grills blend the proven technology of the past with the technology of the future. You may not know it, but Green Mountain Grills is the original innovator of all things Wi-Fi, and they continue to give the users granular options to control their grills in any environment from anywhere. Green Mountain Grills also leads the pack in accessory creation. From the pizza attachments that deliver pizza in 2 minutes, they got rotisseries, they got add-on side burners. Check all this out and more over at greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com. And I'm going to let Greg take care of the introductions.
My next guest, the 2015 KCBS Team of the Year. They finished 5th place a year ago, but as we peer into the KCBS standings currently, they're sitting in the number one spot, and they have been for a number of weeks, if not months, in a row now. This past weekend, they too were at the American Royal this past weekend, grabbing a 38th overall in the Open, but before the day was over on the first day, they took down what many consider to be the championship to win during the course of the barbecue year, if not just your barbecue career, because of the talent pool that's invited. Here to recap the weekend and his current competition season, as time allows, we welcome back the pitmaster of the Clark Crew Barbecue Crew, Travis Clark, joining me on the show. Trav, how are you, man?
Man, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous. So let me ask you right off the rip here, Travis. You've won a lot of grand championships in your time in competition barbecue, which, by the way, hasn't been like decades and decades. Is this the biggest win to date for Clark Crew?
It is, in my opinion. I mean, that's the one when I got into barbecue before I ever did anything is the one I wanted to win.
I was going to say, I think I remember, it might have been a year or two ago when we were talking about how you got into it. You and your wife were just kind of walking around or running into a Johnny Trigg, running into a Rod Gray and saying, hey, this is something that looks pretty cool. Maybe I can get into this. And lo and behold, you're now taking it down.
It rung in my head from the very first day before we were in barbecue. They told me, I said, so what's going on? They said, well, today's the Open. Anybody can cook. And they said, yesterday was the day. They said, that's the day it's champion of champions. And I thought, man, that's the deal. And from that day on, that's the one I've told everybody I always wanted to win. You know, there's a lot of special contests out there, but in my opinion, that's the only one that if you win a contest, you get the opportunity to cook in it. And that's no matter what sanctioning body you're in. And I mean, that's why it's always been special to me.
Travis, is there any way that you can compare a singular win like this to something like a Team of the Year that you won back in 2015, or are they just two completely different animals?
You know, to me, it's two different things. I mean, I think, you know, I don't know. I think anybody can win a contest, and I think it's a whole lot harder to win Team of the Year because it takes literally an entire year of dedication to do it, and I mean that. To this day, that's still the most special thing that I've ever done, but I don't think it matters to a lot of people like it does to the people that go after it. You know, I think, it's crazy how many people will just blow you up and, oh my God, you won the roll. And I mean, it is awesome. But to me, the year-long dedication and putting your heart and soul into it all year long means more to me, but that could just be me too. But to me, it does.
Did you get more blow-ups over the weekend than you did when you took it down in 2015 for Team of the Year?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I'd look down at my phone and I'd have 120 messages, and I'd have 50, 60 text messages. Like, holy cow! I mean, I don't even know how you keep up with it. And I mean, it is very cool. I mean, it was a dream of mine. It really, really, really was.
Travis,
and
go ahead.
To see Blaine do it the second day, man, that was very cool also,
Travis, this is an invite-only competition. All the other teams have been a grand champion in order to get there, along with you, of course. And there's always been this debate of which barbecue contest do you want to win, or shows the best versus the best. And you kind of just alluded to it a couple minutes ago. And obviously, you just freshly won it. It was one that you really wanted to win, but just to reestablish, this is the one, in your opinion, that you really think showcases the event to the best of its ability, that being the best of the best, and the winner can say, hey, I'm top dog this day.
I think both days you can say that, and the Open's awesome because, they get more things, they get into the Houston, they get into the Jack, automatically, which I never understood why the invite don't. I mean, you're cooking against the champion of champions, but, that's their rules. I don't care. But to me, if I had to pick, I've told Darren and all them that I said the Invitational is the one I want. I've always wanted it, and I mean, that's just me, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to win both days. Trust me. I cook to do it.
Travis, let's talk about the cook itself as we do as we start all these reveals, as we look back. High level, where did you think that your turn-ins were as it relates to your chance of winning?
I thought my food was really good. And me and Kim talked in the trailer, and I said, what do you think of it? And she said it was really good. And I said, I think it's good enough to win. We talked about it, and I said, I'm not extremely happy with my ribs. I thought maybe I overcooked them just a tad. I said, that would be my downfall. My burn-ins the first day, I don't know, they were good. I didn't like them the best, and I had some people cooking with me that weekend, and Kim and tried them, and they all just ranted and raved over them, how great they were. So we ran them. And the whole time I was sitting there thinking, man, I don't think they were perfect. I just didn't think they were. And so I was kind of regretting that. But, I mean, they scored well. So maybe I was wrong. But overall we had good food, and, we've been cooking so many weeks in a row, Greg. I mean, it's just, you get dialed in like that. I mean, I used to be running around with my head cut off thinking, all right, I need to do this and this. And now we've done it so much, we literally stood in the trailer, and I don't know how many times I asked her, I said, what am I forgetting? I mean, it just felt like I was forgetting something. It was just going so smooth,
I remember talking to you when we were recapping that 2015 season, and you had said on any number of occasions you were doing it this way one weekend, and then you were changing kind of a lot on the next contest, and then you were changing again for the third time, and there was never any consistency. As you look back now, are you working that same program and not doing those kind of potentially major tweaks from a competition to competition, or you still fly by the seat?
You can find out what Travis had to say over at the BBQCentralShow.com. I hope you enjoyed the last 5 weeks, catching up with some look back on the Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Fame class of 2025. I know it may have been a little redundant with the origin stories on the big show and then these little snippets here, but I think it's real important that we honor these guests. This is a serious thing. This is real. These people earned this spot, and they should be celebrated. So thank you so much for listening. And until next time on the Best Moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.